powerful handgun in the world and would blow your head clean off. You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
And here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike three.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Off the Bench podcast. I am Daniel Ball, and I'm joined as always by my co-host, my partner in crime, my brother from another mother, Jim Cross. Jim, we got a good one. We got Dirty Harry, Bodie himself, Harrison Bordendorf joining us, Oklahoma State pitcher. And we got a lot to talk about.
Start a new season.
I'm telling you, season 13 coming in hot with someone who has just been on fire, bro, just on fire. We're going to unpack the season. We're going to talk to him about his past few starts. But before we bring him in the mix, we got to plug some sponsors. Chinook Seeds, whether you're on the field or in the boardroom signing deals, Chinook helps you get the job done. 8 flavors, mild to wild. Go to your local gas station, convenience store, grocery store. Go to the snack out and pick up the best seeds in the game. And Jesus One Apparel, empowering men, women, and children to take a bold step in their faith by living the message of John 16:33. Jesus won and continues to win each and every day. Jim, I'm ready, man. Let's kick off season 13. Let's bring him on. Help me welcome on Harrison Bordendorf. Harrison, what up, my man?
What's up? How you doing?
Oh man, we're blessed. Feet hit the ground this morning. We got up, and so we're good, man. We are good. Probably not near as good as you though.
Yeah, anytime we're prepping for a show and I'm coming across stat lines like this and knowing that we're going to get your story and talk to you, like I'm pretty excited. Daniel, I don't know if you paid attention, but running that intro video, I was telling him before the episode, man, him and Braden kind of look alike from the whole hair flow and the hat thing. Like, I mean, up close, I'm sure they don't, but coming on the screen, I was like, we doing a repeat episode kind of thing. And also while we're talking about plugs, Daniel, the Jesus One, this is the Oklahoma State official one. So we do have those on. But Harrison, man, I got to know something, right? Today's a holiday. Yesterday was a holiday. So let's go Cinco de Mayo, man. What's your favorite Mexican dish?
Oh, man. Gosh, I love Mexican food. Growing up in California, ate it a lot. So
the tacos hit different. Look, down here in the South, we got all that fake stuff, the refried stuff, mess your stomach up. When I was stationed out in San Diego, boy, yeah, you ain't lying. The food was different there.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I'm going just what would I go to the most, it's got to be just a California burrito from honestly any place. Kind of just the favorite. That's like, going to like a little taco shop nearby and just get a California burrito, something like that. My go-to dish if I'm like going out to a Mexican restaurant though is probably enchiladas. I'm a big enchilada guy.
This might be a crazy question. What's the difference between a regular burrito and a California burrito?
Just what's inside of it. California burrito is carne asada. Normally there's like some guac, some sour cream, cheese, and then what makes it like a California burrito is they add French fries inside too. So.
You know, it's like the equivalent when you go get a hot dog from a certain city, Chicago, New York, and it's New York style. It's just the additional toppings because obviously the hot dog's still a hot dog.
Yeah, I was about to go off because at first, Harrison, you were like, yeah, it's just a carne asada burrito, and I was like, hold on now, like California can't claim a steak burrito.
Well, since we're going to deep dive this thing, Daniel, y'all got some spots over there in Florida. Like I said, neither of y'all are in the South where it's just nah. So what's your go-to over there in Florida, Daniel?
For a burrito?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm cooking it at home. Here's the one thing that Florida lacks, and that's authentic Mexican food. All right. They got your street tacos, they got, these like Tex-Mex places. They got those, on every corner. But it's really hard to find a really, really solid, like authentic Mexican place. So, but the closest we could find right now is probably Lowly's. Not a bad spot.
No doubt. So my other thing I had to ask you was the holiday that was yesterday. Obviously made up holiday, Harrison, but I see all the games they're putting, stormtroopers is people's batting pictures, the home run clips, they're turning the bats into lightsabers. So may the 4th be with you. Do you like all the stuff that they do with all these graphics and bringing it into the game? Or are you one of those Star Wars ain't for me?
No, I love Star Wars. It's probably one of my favorite movies, especially growing up. Actually, me and my roommates all just watched the first 6 for the last couple of weeks. We've been watching them. So I think it's awesome. I mean, we had a Stormtrooper mascot at our game yesterday. walking around. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, the lightsaber home run clips, you can't get me off those. Those are nice.
Oh yeah, you can't beat those. Those are sweet. And it's pretty cool too because actually after we watched the Star Wars, one of my roommates, Mario Pesca, he brought a Vader mask to the field and with the team, and that was our new double cellies. Someone hits like the Vader force choke, and then we all are like getting choked in the dugout by Vader, whoever hits a double. So already kind of Star Wars team. So the May the 4th was pretty sweet.
I like it. Yeah, we had to con my son into watching the movie with us yesterday. We got a Disney trip coming up in the summer. He loves all the Star Wars rides, doesn't really care for the movie. He's 12. He doesn't really care for anything we try to get him to do. But so we're like, hey man, if you want to go to go to Disney World, plus he's wanting to build him one of the little drones. My wife said, we ain't buying you nothing, building you nothing, you ain't riding nothing. If you don't, we'll come watch the movie with us. And he's like, oh man, but we try to do anything we can as family time. And on the 4th, May, you might as well just take in a movie. And we ended up watching Return of the Jedi, took it back old school. And so ultimately, I think he liked it. He's never going to tell us the truth because he would never want mom and dad to be right. But I'm definitely down. Daniel, you're not a movie guy. Daniel's not a movie guy. Have you seen the Star Wars movies, Daniel?
I got a hot take for you. All right.
Oh, don't you, man, you're going to make
season 30. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be
overrated, dude. We're gonna lose listeners.
It's gonna be real good. All right. Out of all the Star Wars movies, I've probably seen about 10 minutes of all of them collectively. They are the most overrated, overhyped, overdramatic. Just look.
I mean, Harrison, if you want to leave, man, if you just want to bail out, I get it. Me and you can reschedule.
It's all good. People have their opinions. Might be wrong.
You would wait till the start of year 6. We got a new season to do a hot take that's going to lose half our audience because they're going to be like, I can't listen to this Daniel Cat no more. He has no more credibility.
I told you, season 13, I'm coming in as a new dude, and Star Wars. I got a hit list. Star Wars is on there. It's off, gone.
Hey, well, go ahead and start conducting your interview. I hope you got a nice bounce back coming because right now I'm a little disappointed.
All right, I do. All right, so we got to go with nicknames. Obviously, Star Wars. There's a lot of nicknames. There's a lot of characters called whatever, whoever. A lot of different things. But for you, obviously, Dirty Harry, Bodie. You got a couple. Like of all the nicknames out there that we've seen and heard, which is your favorite?
Honestly, probably either Harry or Bodie. Growing up, I was Harry a lot, and then actually when I got to Hawaii my freshman year, we had another Harry on the team already, and so then that's when the Bodie came in, and that one actually became more special when I came home because I didn't realize like that's what all my dad's friends they call him Bodie, and that was his nickname when he played basketball growing up, and he never told me, and no one ever kind of had that catch on.
Point Break. That's Patrick Swayze's character, the badass. Like, so that's not a bad nickname. Really, Dirty Harry or Bodie, you're being named after somebody who's awesome. So I don't see issue with either for sure.
Yeah, I just found out about the Dirty Harry, the TV show where it came from 2 days ago. I want to say I had no idea that it was from.
It's old. It's older than me and Daniel was just saying something. So,
I mean,
yeah, my trainer was telling me about it.
It's going to be Harrison Ford next, just because, you make the connection.
You even know that he's in Star Wars?
That's why I said that. So there you go. If you asked me what character he played, I could probably guess it, but I wouldn't be 100% on it. But so a Cali guy, Temecula, is that how you spell it or say it?
Sir. Yeah.
So Temecula. All right, the Valley, what's up in Temecula? Like, if I came there, like, what would you be like? We got to go do this.
I think we have a lot of wineries. That's it's called Wine Country is like the nickname. So I know a lot of people that go there. It's for either like weddings at one of the wineries or they do a whole wine tasting trip when they go out there. That's a big thing. That's kind of the biggest thing that we're known for is our wineries that we have.
I mean, that's my style right there. I like that. Go out there, get to experience it all, sip a little something, enjoy the nice scenery, just because it's a different place. I've been to wine country before and it's different. You go there as opposed to Southern California. It's a different vibe. But growing up, you had 2 younger sisters, mom and dad. Like, is that it? Just 2 younger sisters? You got any brothers or anything?
Nope, just the 2 younger sisters. I'm the oldest.
I mean, what is that like being the older brother? Are you the protector? Are you the Hans Solo of the family?
I mean, yeah, I would say so. Growing up is they would always come to my stuff, and then it was kind of cool. They both danced, so going to their dance competitions, kind of paying it back, watching them, and then yeah, it kind of sucked when they got older and turned into protector. My youngest sister, she's a freshman in high school now, so when I came home over winter, I was like, oh no, she's the trouble child for sure. She's the one I got to really look out over. But yeah, I'd say yeah, protector.
Look, I'll tell you this. We've had so many younger siblings on here who've had massive success because of their older siblings for one way or another while they've taught them. So just remember that, Harrison, man. You may just be the key to some things that they need to know to be successful.
Yeah.
Do they see you as that overbearing, protected older brother, or they come to you like with problems and like needing advice, or are they not quite there yet?
So my middle sister, she's kind of there yet. But I don't think they ever saw me as overbearing because, having only sisters, I definitely would still, mess with them a little bit growing up. So it's still like you got the normal kind of sibling, and then now that we're getting older, I think it's the youngest one's definitely seeing me as overbearing. Because I came home and I was like, she was out there with her friends in our hot tub bed in the backyard. I'm like, she shouldn't be doing that. She's too little to be doing that. But so she's like, I'm in high school now. But definitely, she probably thinks I'm overbearing, but I don't think I'm overbearing.
Just looking out for her, man. You got a little bit more wisdom than she does. You might could see the play develop before it even happens. Like I feel you, man. Yeah. But let's shift gears. Let's talk baseball. That's what you came on here to do. So let's get into it.
Is no longer available.
Oh, sorry, my Alexa.
Oh. Do things like
hey, we got another guest.
Alexa, edit this out of the podcast.
Sorry about that.
All right,
hey, no, you're good here. I'm not editing nothing out.
Nothing. I like it. All right. Baseball, growing up, everybody has a player that they idolize, a player that they want to mold their game after, a player that they just love. Who was that player for you growing up?
I kind of had 2, honestly. I was a big Barry Zito and Madison Bumgarner fan.
Daniel, I did my homework right without even having that info. Ooh, hey, we're gonna talk about it later. Nice.
We're gonna get into old Barry. We're gonna. Man, as a matter of fact, we're going to get into the entire Giants pitching rotation from like 2006 to like 2013.
Look, you know who's never talked about anymore since you brought that up? Tim Lincecum was literally called the freak and one of the baddest dudes ever. And then somehow, like, when he stopped, like, people just forgot he existed. I never hear his name ever.
Yeah, I occasionally, like, you see the clip of him throwing, like, on TikTok or Instagram like once in a blue moon, but yeah, he doesn't really get talked about that often.
I mean, Matt Cain is another name. Like nobody talks about that dude, but he was.
Daniel went against him in high school. That's how old we are.
Yep.
Yeah, I went and watched him pitch one time. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, if you went and watched the Giants for in that 4-year span that all those guys were together, you were going to get a lights out pitching. No matter what day or what game it was, you're going to get somebody that's decent on that mound.
It was crazy. We were breaking MLB down what, Daniel, like 3 years ago, and we were talking about it like Harrison, like forever you knew everybody who was on the Giants, and the roster came up and we were like, we don't know a single dude on. So like we were literally like, we don't know any of these guys. And it's like, man, everybody's time has passed. Like it was just like kind of like a sad moment.
Yeah. Crazy. But This is crazy, all right? You were ranked the 18th best prep left-handed pitcher in California by Perfect Game. And everybody knows about Perfect Game. Everybody knows the talent level in California. Everybody knows that it's a hotbed. There's a lot of players in California. And you're number 18 out of all the lefty pitchers in the state. To me, it seems like there should be this long list that you have to whittle down and decide on like where you're going to go to school. Obviously, Hawaii was the destination that you chose first. What made it Hawaii, or why Hawaii? I mean, when I say it out loud, it's like, that is stupid. Like, why not Hawaii? You know?
Yeah, well, believe it or not, there was 0 list actually. I didn't have a single offer. I was actually going to be going to JUCO out of high school, Palomar. It's a JUCO in Escondido, San Diego area. And then I was lucky enough that one of my teammates in high school, he ended up getting drafted in the 3rd round, Chris Pasiola. But he would have scouts at his games, and I would pitch and threw pretty well my senior year. And so sometimes I'd ask his mom, like, "Hey, where's this kid going to college?" And she was like, "He's not going anywhere." And then one of the scouts, he knew the recruiting coordinator at Hawaii. He had been a Brave Scout for like 20 years before he was a recruiting coordinator. So that guy reached out to Dan Cox, the recruiting coordinator at Hawaii. And then he gave me a phone call, and he's like, "Hey, we're going to be in town this week. This is the week of my high school graduation. So pretty close to the end." And he's like, "Hey, we're going to be in town in San Diego playing a road series. Are you throwing anywhere or anything I can see?" And I was like, "Well, our season's over. I don't really have anything going on." But luckily I had some great high school friends who all got together and let me throw live ABs to them. And he came out and watched that. And he liked what he saw. And he's like, "Hey, it's late. Like, we don't have any money, but we have a preferred walk-on spot for you if you're willing to take it." And it had always been my dream to play Division I baseball. So that's how I ended up there.
I mean,
let me ask this real quick, Harrison. Did your friends, they do the right thing?
You know, I mean, I think I made them do the right thing.
This is how I picture this phone call going like this. "Hey boys, the time has come, and I know you guys have always said you're gonna have my back. Now it's time to prove it. All right, I got Hawaii coming, baby. All right, I need you, and I need you. And you know what to do." You just toe the rubber and just throw darts up there.
Yeah, didn't do that. I mean, maybe they had it in the back of their minds, though. I think they were all just pretty excited for me. And as a competitor, I'm never going to ask someone to let me have it. But I think I just threw well enough for him to like what he saw.
No, I kid. Like, even those guys are, they don't get an opportunity to swing the stick in front of a college coach like that.
Yeah.
So like, that's a great opportunity to be seen for them too. So as much as it's, a thing for you, it's also like something that they could be seen too, because what I do know about baseball and my coaching and my career is that as big as it seems, the network of people is very small. And so when you hear about a player, if they're not the right fit for you, you always usually go, "Hey, there's somebody out there you need to take a look at," or, talk to somebody. And usually the network spreads, and that's how names filter through. So you can always impress somebody or see, get seen by someone, and that spread to someone else. And like, I've had numerous stories of players that were seen by other coaches that didn't even go to that school and were referred to other people from them. But that's crazy. Can't believe that.
And then as far as that's nothing new for us, Harrison. On this show, I think Ben Joyce, he had no offers but one community college. Obviously, we see how that played out. I think about Dylan DeLucia, who ended up being the most outstanding player of the College World Series. So like a lot of guys, man, can somehow, some way go under the radar. Just need that opportunity. And it seems like every guy we've ever talked to, including yourself, it paid dividends for whoever gave you that opportunity, even like you said, in walk-on spots. And it all works out, man. God's plan never may be the one that we see and line up that way. And I'm sure you were stressed for a time or two, but you look where you're at now. But let's talk Hawaii. I told you I studied your whole roster last year. Daniel knows I was going to go to Hawaii for Ole Miss. Wife gets sick. We're not going to bag on her on this show. She did get sick, but it is Hawaii. She missed her shot, Daniel. They schedule again because you know what? Harrison's not pitching there anymore. Ty Atkins and Nigel have obviously graduated, but no, man, I did a lot of studying. That team got better year by year by year. Obviously, you were only there for 2, but you were there for the peak 2. And how cool was it playing in that program? Because I know we could talk about how beautiful it is there. It's Hawaii. We know that. But, man, the quality of baseball, I thought it was absolutely travesty that y'all didn't get into a regional last year because y'all beat a lot of big-time teams, starting with that Ole Miss, and then you got some against NC State in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty awesome. I'd say the coolest thing are the fans. There's no pro team in Hawaii, so the whole island, like, we kind of are the pro team. So that stadium's always packed. people are always asking for autographs and things like that. And, they're all big fans of the school and of the team. So I think that's probably the coolest part of it all is all the fans that you get to play in front of.
Yeah, no doubt. And we see the teams that go there, especially those first few weeks. I feel like teams are lining up wanting to get the opportunity to go play Hawaii, and they're wanting it from like a vacation standpoint. So on y'all's end, how excited do y'all get where these teams think they're coming for vacation, but they're fixing to find out they're coming for work, and they're probably fixing to get work.
Yeah, no, it's pretty fun. Last year when Ole Miss came out and NC State back to back, it's like that's pretty exciting being a Big West team out on the West Coast, and you get to play SEC and ACC schools that are coming out there. And it's not just like you're thinking in your head, oh, it's cool we get to play this team. It's like we want to beat these teams. And yeah, they definitely probably think that they're coming kind of for a walk in the park, but definitely we didn't see it that way.
Well, and I say it because I was watching their Instagram live when Ole Miss arrived, and they were very happy when they got there, man, in Hawaii. And then I saw the results of that first game and that score, and I'm sure it wasn't too much fun anymore. But, for you, man, made 41 appearances over those 2 seasons, 17 starts, 9-5 records, 7 saves, 4.03 ERA, 130 Ks. Man, how did you feel about your performance over 2 years? I mean, you are a guy, like you just said, you didn't have any offers. So to me, that's incredible stats, but you may have a higher regard for yourself. So do you feel like in your 2 years, man, you really brought it and did, the best that you could?
I think definitely last year could have gone a lot better for me. I think my freshman year I was really, really proud of. I think the biggest thing that maybe have so much success my freshman year is kind of like we talked about the stress that you have when you don't have those offers in high school and like that kind of stuff. And then I get to college and like my dreams kind of coming true and like I just get to enjoy playing baseball again. There's no worry about that other stuff. And then being able to go out there and throw a lot as a freshman was pretty awesome to do and throw well too. And then I think last year definitely could have been a lot better. It's kind of very similar numbers wise to my freshman year. I didn't see much improvement. But yeah, overall I was pretty satisfied.
Well, I mean, you did enough. Obviously, you put your name in the portal and land where you do, and you don't get to a school like Oklahoma State unless you've garnered that attention. So clearly they thought well of you. Obviously, we don't got to go through a list, but I can guarantee just if they were on it alone, you had plenty of schools lining up. So why was it Oklahoma State for you? I mean, obviously out in Hawaii, you're a Cali kid. That's a heck of a transition. So why was it Oklahoma State?
Yeah, I'd say the biggest thing I thought was about the connection of the coaches. I think every coach I talked to when they were talking to me about the school and about how they do things, like everything they said was the exact same. And it was like it didn't really feel like they were trying to sell me on stuff. It was more of just like this is how we do things. This is what we believe in, which I really like because when schools are recruiting, sometimes they'll try and sell you on certain things, or obviously they're trying to get you to go there, but it just felt like they didn't feel like they needed to do that because they felt like the way that they did things and the way they ran their program would sell itself. And that was a big thing for me is it just seemed like they really knew what they were doing. They were all on the same page, and obviously our facilities are insane. And
that's right where I'm going, because let me tell you, I made the mistake. I told you we had Lane Forsythe on here last year, and he came from Mississippi State, who has the top rated facilities by all regards. And then he showed me the videos and we talked about it. And he said, you can line it up however you want, 1A, 1B. I told him, all I know is you're blessed because you got to be at both. But man, those facilities are unreal. Like it's one of the top spots that I need to go check out and see it in person, because I feel like the video probably don't even do it justice. But how nice is it? It's not a knock on Hawaii or anywhere else, but like to be in arguably the best facilities in the country.
Yeah, I mean, it blew my socks off when I first got here. And they did it right too. When I got off the plane and we drove in, it was right at sunset, drove me right into the field. They were playing my walkout song as we got to the field with the lights on and everything. And I mean, I sat there with my mouth open probably for 5 minutes, just like in awe of and that was just the field. We didn't even get to the facility part yet. And then, the facilities, I mean, having our own weight room at the field is great. Especially for pitchers, because it's so much better for us. We can throw our bullpens or whatnot and then lift after that, not really having to lift. Some teams, when they don't have a field or a weight room at their field, they got to go lift in the mornings or do what they got to do to get their weight room, their work in. And we just are lucky enough that I get to go throw first and lift second, which is a big thing because sometimes you can fatigue yourself out if you have to lift before. And then our locker room, yeah, top.
I just know. Look, we had this conversation the other day with some guys, and Daniel, I'm telling you, I don't know why any guy who's on the cusp of just trying to decide if they want to go pro or if they want to go play, Division I baseball. And when you look at some of these schools, because obviously if you're the caliber to get drafted, you're clearly going to go to one of the top schools, and you're going to go riding a bus town to town, staying in rinky-dink places, or you can have something like Oklahoma State has. I'm just saying, like, it's a no-brainer. Unless you're a top 10 pick getting paid millions that you can't turn down, and just you get to live the college life, man. And I think some guys just don't understand and appreciate how much, fun y'all get to have, the camaraderie with the guys and everything. And so you get there. Obviously, we talk about the facilities. It's a winning culture. And then you get to start out with some big games. Y'all get to do some neutral sites, and that's where you came on the scene personally for me. Minute Maid, got to see it, facing number 1 preseason ranked A&M. Obviously, they've had some ups and downs, but nonetheless, that lineup is what it is. How did it feel to have your coming out party in a big league park against the number 1 ranked team?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was awesome. And we were in Texas, so, I mean, there was probably 10,000 A&M fans at our game too, which is definitely the biggest crowd I played in front of. I mean, it was definitely different atmosphere compared to the other games we played, even at Minute Maid, because the amount of fans that they had. But yeah, it was pretty cool to get a pitch against the number 1 ranked team in the country and have some success against them as well.
I mean, Daniel, this guy, first of all, he's from Cali with his goes to Hawaii, then he goes to Oklahoma State. He's playing in big league parks. I mean, maybe not had no offers, but it's been going good since. But
did he trade in his flip flops for cowboy boots? That's the real question.
Maybe.
Yeah, I did. I did get a pair of cowboy boots actually when I got out.
There you go. You got to. I mean, when they do their photos for the team, they always got the cowboy hats on there. You got to. But you got 5 games specifically. Obviously, you got a whole season, but of stat lines, I made that video. I sent it to you. It's crazy, man. But the one that obviously stands out, the one that I had to reach out to you afterward, we had already had, Braden lined up, and right after we had the Braden episode, I was like, we got to get the next Oklahoma State, because anybody who pitches 10 innings, Daniel, is somebody we got to talk to, because that's just something we don't see. So you did 10 innings pitched, 10 Ks, 125 pitches, and Daniel's going to ask you also, because that's your college pitching coach, your college pitcher, and I'm sure that whole analysis. But I just need to know for you, what's it like, going back out there for a 10th inning after going a full 9? Like, is the adrenaline rushing to where you don't care? Like, what's that like?
Yeah, I mean, definitely the adrenaline. You really don't care. Especially for me, I had the chance, to win it in the 9th, and then gave up the lead, and they tied it up. And my coach came up to me and he said, "All right, here's the deal. If we score, it's your game. You're going back out there. Now, if we don't score and it's tied, I'm gonna have to go to the bullpen and whatnot, because you don't know how long the game's gonna be." And right in that moment, I was just praying that we'd score, because I wanted to go out and finish that game. And then, yeah, when I went out for the 10th, I mean, it felt like my first inning. The adrenaline was pumping.
The boys took care of them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's easy going out there when you got one more extra run than the other team. It's a lot harder when that score is the same. I do have some questions. What would have been the cutoff? Like, what's the pitch number where coach is like, look, I really want to go with you, but like, you're at 135 pitches, man. Like, I just can't do that to you.
130 is what he says would be what he said would have been the cutoff. So luckily I stayed right below that. And then another big thing of his is kind of the pitch per inning as well. Like, if I'm only going 10, 15 pitch innings, and they're kind of low stress innings, like Arizona was, where I had a lot of quick innings and kind of no high stress, high pitch count innings, then, you can ride a little longer. But say it was like, I had a couple 20 pitch innings in there, then it's probably going to be closer to that 110 mark, because they're higher stress innings. But when it's going good like that, 130 is going to be the cutoff.
What's the prep like? Is it off season, or is it just where we're at in the season, where the trust is there? Because I mean, you've had 4 games where you're over 110 pitches and you're still, rolling out there. What is it? Is it just you guys are doing long toss and like doing programs and like keeping it strong and working in the off seasons to prepare you to be able to do that? Or it's just kind of, we're going to go off feel. We'll see how you start from the beginning of the season and how you progress and what the arm feels like, what it looks like. Is the ball lively? Like, once again, stress free.
I'm trying to think outside of what's his name, Quinn Matthews from Stanford. I can't think of a guy who regularly threw this many pitches.
No.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a mix of both. In the fall, they shut me down early after we had a fall scrimmage with Arkansas, end of October. After that, I shut down, put the ball down, and just kind of got after it in the weight room, lifting 4 times a week, kind of trying to pack on the weight. And then also there's the trust factor and the kind of, we're later in the season. I'm built up for it. Got a good routine between weeks. Our trainer's great. We got access to all the stuff you kind of need for recovery here. So it's definitely a mix of both.
That's my next question is, all right, so you come off the mound and then like, what is the recovery like? Because I think the misconception and what people don't know about pitching is that as soon as you're done with your last inning, like that's when recovery starts. Like there are times where the pitcher, the starting pitcher or whoever that's gone the longest is coming out of the game and they may not even see the end of the game because they're prepping themselves for that recovery part. When does recovery start for you? And then talk me through the process of that moment all the way until you get back on the mound the next time.
Okay, yeah. So recovery for me starts, pretty much as soon as I'm done pitching. Normally, if I'm going later in the games, like when I threw all the way to the 8th this weekend, I have time to just kind of finish the game out because so the first thing that I do is BFR, which is blood flow restriction. You put it on your arm, it restricts the blood flow, and then we do like a dumbbell shoulder routine, which kind of fatigues the arm out with the BFR. And then
what is it, like a blood pressure cuff, and they just like pump it
pretty
up?
much like a blood pressure cuff you put around your arm, and then there's an app on the phone that inflates it, and it's calibrated specifically to our arm. So like it cuts off 60% of your blood flow, which is obviously different person to person. So in the beginning of the year, they calibrate it, and then we have our name on the app, and then they click on that, and then it cuts off the blood flow. Then we do our shoulder routine, which is a little dumbbell routine, and then normally I'll do that, shower up, change, get food, then I'll come back to the field, and then we have this infrared sauna, which spoiled, but yeah, we have one of those. So
I mean, come on.
Yeah, so I'll go sit in that.
I'm just saying,
we got somebody fanning us and feeding us grapes. And
we got it all.
8 innings, shutout, or you go 10 innings, whatever. He's earning the sauna, man. I ain't hearing nothing else.
Hey, I mean, I've seen the facilities. I would be mad if you didn't have a sauna.
I mean, it should have a sauna. That locker room is probably my favorite part. Like that, I think their locker room is the best in the country. There ain't no 1B to it.
Yeah, the locker room's awesome. But yeah, so then I'll do the sauna the night of as well. And then Saturday, our strength coach, I do no throw Saturday. And our strength coach, Garrett, he takes me through like an active recovery, which is a mix of stretching and like some soft tissue stuff, and then some actual active movements to kind of get the arm moving, get the body moving, and start flushing the body out. And then I'll sit in the sauna again if we're home, just because I have it there. I have the time when I'm at the field. And then Sundays, I throw a bullpen on Sundays. It might sound crazy, but I'm a big believer that throwing is kind of the best recovery. I always feel better after I throw. If I wake up sore and I go play catch, normally I actually feel better. So it's just a light touch, 20, 25 pitches, just keeping feels from Friday when if I threw well, or kind of working on stuff that I didn't think I did that well, and also just getting back off the slope. And then lift after that bullpen on Sunday, and then call it a day there. Monday is just like a nice light catch day. Tuesday is the same thing, just catch and practice. And then Wednesday, I'll throw my second bullpen of the week. I'll lift, and then I'll do the BFR again Wednesday after my bullpen. And then Thursday is just catch play again, and kind of maybe some soft tissue like lacrosse ball stuff if I feel something's tight, and then back to Friday to pitch.
Man, are you running or doing anything like cardio related, or is it just exactly what you said?
The only kind of cardio related is on that active recovery day. If I go over 100 pitches, so my last couple outings, we do the treadmill. It's a walk on an incline where we're trying to have the heart rate between 120 and 130 for 15 minutes. So just I forget exactly it's like grade A or something cardio, where it's not like I'm running or sprinting, but it's just getting the heart rate between 120 and 130 for 15 minutes. And then I'll go into like that active recovery of stretching and stuff after I do that.
You know, the whole science of recovery, Jim, is completely changed. Like it is
But
not like
everything is. But I told you, I said, think about that when I just had my surgery. It used to be, you propped your leg up, right, and you just rested. Now, no, it's you work out the other 99% of your body and keep yourself going. It's completely different.
I mean, I could think of times where I would probably throw 70, 80, 100 pitches, and then it's like we're not picking up the ball for 2 days, and like it is like.
Well, he's the first one I've heard say the best recovery for him is throwing the ball. I'm not saying that they didn't feel that way. They just didn't say it. That's the first time I've actually heard it said.
Right.
But you just had that 8-inning pitch against UCF, which absolutely dominated them. Y'all have won 4 in a row. Like, what's the vibe of the team right now? Because I know how talented this team is. I know y'all aren't exactly where y'all want to be, but nonetheless, winning 4 straight is winning 4 straight. And obviously you handling UCF's lineup like that. So what's the vibe right now?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely feeling good. We know we're not in the spot we wanted to be in, but getting hot at the right time is definitely a good thing, especially if we stay hot down the stretch. Win out these next couple series, go to the Big 12 tournament, get hot, and then if you win that, once that's over and you're in the playoffs, everyone's 0-0 in playoffs. So if we're hot, and I mean, like you said, we're a very talented team. So we know we can go.
I think that's the key. Is it's always about getting hot at the right times, right? So I mean, regardless of what happened all year, if you're winning 4, if you continue this run like you're saying, and I will say this though, I looked at the home and away. Y'all have actually struggled pretty bad away. So, is it one of those things, at least for you, in the back of your mind, like we need to somehow make a run at hopefully, hosting a regional, because it's still not out of the picture, even with where you put yourself, because like you said, there's a pathway, especially if you run through the conference tournament. Do y'all think about that at all? Or is it one of those things, regardless of how much we've struggled on the road, we feel like we can win anywhere?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I didn't even really realize that we had been struggling more on the road.
Y'all are 15-6 at home, 3-11 away.
Yeah, well,
and then obviously y'all have a lot of neutral site games. That's why the math ain't mathing. But y'all really take care of business at home. But I think a guy like you is a key component, right, Daniel? Because it's who can go shove in a road environment and isn't afraid of it. And it starts with that ace, and you get that first win. That changes the outlook for the entire team because they just need that confidence boost.
Let me ask you this, Harrison. Let's say regionals come in and you guys find your name slotted somewhere. All right. If it comes down to winning, like let's say you throw a good game 1 and then you're in a position where it might be an elimination game or a clinch game. Would you come back? Are you preparing yourself like with all this work and this recovery to be able to come back and be that guy that's like, look, I'm going to go short days because this is important? Or is that like, no, that's too much and we're going to trust in the
correlate
bullpen
with this 25-pitch bullpen. Can't you just throw your 25 pitches and give relief?
That's what I was thinking. Like you take one of those bullpen sessions and now it becomes not a bullpen session, but an active, like,
because
game
that's the
session.
thing. He's not starting a game, but you need him to give you a couple innings, hopefully in a clutch situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely, if I'm not pitching, it's not because of me. I'm never going to say no to taking the ball.
Do you want to start back-to-back days? You've already pitched 10 innings this year, and why not?
Yeah, I mean, I throw my bullpens on Sundays anyways. Normally I feel pretty good and like I could throw it in a game. And, definitely if we're in that situation where it's kind of do or die, I definitely feel like I could go into the game.
I mean, just think you went into the 10th and you just had a 1-run lead just for just a normal like regular season game. Could you imagine just popping in? Like, you wouldn't feel nothing. Like, you would go like, I got you.
Here's what I know. Now that we don't talk about it, Daniel, if they don't work their way to a host, I need to see this play out now. I need to see him get the game 1 win in the regional. I need to see him get the save in the last one. I mean, and it's not something we haven't not seen before, actually. But, it's kind of funny. I was bringing up, Skeens earlier. Daniel, if you remember, in Omaha against Florida, Skeens was actually coming in to save, but then LSU blew the door wide open on Florida, and so they didn't have to. But that was going to be like another moment just to add to everything ridiculous he'd already done.
Yeah, I would have been. I would have liked to have seen that, but I know for you, you're glad you didn't have to.
There's no stress. That worked.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, Harrison, man, we're gonna hop into this game before we let you bounce. I don't know if you've ever seen it or heard it or done it before, but we're going to play a little blind ranking game with you. You good with that?
You're the first guest ever to play a new game. We've played this or that for 6 or 5 years. This is year 6 where you decided it's time to move on.
All right. So before we get into this, Jim, who is the blind ranking sponsored by?
Old Dominic Distillery, Daniel, as you know, in the heart of downtown Memphis. And Daniel, I found a little video they had, because a lot of times the question I get is just how many products do they have, Daniel? And we know they got a ton. So check it out.
Like bing bop boom 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 bop bam. Bing bop boom 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 bop bam. Bing bop boom boom bop bam. Bing bop boom 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 bop bam. Bing bop boom.
I mean, Daniel, 10 different products, all elite, and that's still not even all of them. But you can get them from the heart of downtown Memphis, Daniel. As you know, you can go on down to South Front Street, or you can order online. But the best in the business, obviously, they take care of us. Our guys at Old Dominic taking care of tailgates across the country, just like Chinook Eatery. I love our sponsors.
They're the best in the game, especially Bing and Bop. Two
Bing
good
and
ones. Bing, Bop,
I think you would like that was the song that they used, too.
I like that. I like
I
every
had to
video.
cut it into 2 different videos, though, because it was too tall to fit in the frame. So that was the reason for the little, minor adjustment of music.
It worked. All right, Harrison, we are blind ranking. Let me show you. Left-handed pitchers. All right.
All right.
So first guy, Dallas Keuchel. Where are you going to slot him? Where are you going to slot old Dallas?
I'll put him in the 4.
Ooh, in the 4. Why in the 4? You trying to like preserve some.
He knows there's better coming.
Yeah.
That's why.
I'm trying to save some slots.
All right, I hear you. All right. How about Randy Johnson? Ever heard of that guy?
Yeah, I think I've heard his name a couple times. I mean,
where are you gonna slot old Randy?
I think I can't do anything but 1 with Randy.
I mean, that's
gotta go 1.
Safe play.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me tell you, there's nothing scarier than a Randy Johnson with a mouthful of chew, just spitting and just like giving you some through the ear hole and just being like, let's go.
Daniel, we reference Little Big League all the time, and we talk about how Ken Griffey was the nicest guy in the world, and they villainize him. But however, in that movie, most people forget Randy Johnson was in it, and he played the villain perfect because he looked scary. And when they showed the little kid who's managing looking across, and it's like, holy crap.
That's how I'd be for sure. What about your boy Barry Zito? Where are you gonna slot him?
Man,
old Barry.
I got to go 2. I mean, he was one of my favorite pitchers growing up. His curveball is the most wicked thing I've ever seen. One of the best.
I mean, a Zito breaking ball is something. It's just magical. Like how he gets it to do and dance and do the things that he does. And he might be one of those guys that's like, yeah, I have a grip, but to be honest, like, it just does what it does.
Yeah, and I'll tell you a fun thing you might want to do, Harrison, is because when I was getting this list, if you just type best left-handed pitchers all time, the list is it's fun to go down, and you realize just how many dudes they're having. Like the idea of having to pick 5, like there was like 30 I had to choose from that I really wanted to. When you talk about great, so it's one of those things that we were just talking about Lincecum earlier, where guys kind of like go out of your mind, and then you're looking down this list and you're just seeing, oh man, and it's like, how do I pick 5?
I mean, if If you think the lefty list is long, you should look
Well,
at the
I
righty
know
list.
that, but there's that appreciation. It's no different than a lefty swing. Something about the lefty release too.
Definitely. All right. How about Clayton Kershaw? He's a pretty big one these days.
Yeah. I mean, I really want to put him at 5 just because I'm a Dodger hater, but I think that'd be good.
See that back for Daniel. I said he was a Cali kid. I thought he might like Kershaw. It went the opposite way.
I mean, no, I like Kershaw. I mean, he's a good pitcher, and I mean, talking about good curveballs, he's got a wicked curveball too.
This will be interesting because you don't know who's
I
next.
can't put him in 5 though. That would be wrong. I mean, yeah, he's one of the greats. He's got to go in 3, I think.
In 3.
Oh, he set himself up. Daniel, do it to him.
All right, so here we go. Here's the big one.
Don't tell me Kofi is coming.
No, this is what you got. The last one, Madison Bumgarner.
Your guy.
Oh no,
your dude.
I should have done it. Oh, I should have done it.
So I mean,
should have went with your gut.
I should have went with my gut. Can't put the best playoff pitcher.
I'm just glad we finally got to do this, Harrison. Me and him have been sending clips of that makeshift project show that does it every day, and been talking about doing it. And finally, I messaged Daniel this morning. I said, "It's your time. It's time to start the new game."
Oh man,
yeah, I would see him, and I'm always like, I think I could do a pretty good job, but not happy. I had to
at least
where would you?
It was the number 5 slot. My favorite is when he ends up keeping the one open, and the last one is always the worst one. And it's
All right. So now that you know the names, if you were to reorder them, in what order would you really put them in?
I'd keep Randy Johnson in the 1, and then I think I would just switch Mad Bum to the 2, and then let everything go else the rest. So Randy Johnson, Mad Bum, Zito, Kershaw, Dallas Keuchel.
Bumgarner 2, Zito 2A, 3.
Yeah, I mean, I just think Bumgarner's a little more my time. I definitely watched him more. And
plus, he hits bombs, dude. What are we talking about?
Yeah, I mean, got 4 off Kershaw alone, something like that. That was my favorite.
That was probably the craziest thing is him being able to hit off somebody elite like that. That is wild.
Yeah.
Well, Harrison, man, it's been a blast having you on. Anything you want to plug or promote before you get out of here?
I think I'm all good, but pleasure being on the show. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, of course, man. We loved having you. Love to have you come back on here. Bring some friends with you. Always take more.
I'm all about the Oklahoma State culture, man. It's a winning culture there.
I will say this: if you want to know what the Oklahoma State Cowboys are doing this weekend, May 9th, Friday, 6:30, ESPN Plus, Baylor. They're traveling to Waco. It's going to be wacky in Waco, so be ready, Harrison. Friday, May 9th, 6:30, Saturday, the 10th at 2 p.m., and Sunday, the matinee at 1 o'clock. All 3 games you can see on ESPN Plus. Check them out. They're getting close to wrapping up the conference play. They got one more series against Arizona State the following weekend, and that'll
That's
do
a good
it.
one. Arizona State ain't no slouch.
Nope, not at all. But Harrison, hey, best of luck. Wish you a happy, safe, successful rest of the season. Y'all take care of business so we can see your name pop up when it comes time for regionals, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely. That is Harrison Bordendorf, everybody. If you like hearing Harrison's story or you just like hearing Average Joe's talk X's and O's, please like, share the podcast on Facebook. Head over to YouTube, click like, click subscribe, click notifications. That way you're first to know when new content is dropped. Jim, season 13, man. We're out the gates. We're rolling hot, man. What do we got?
Big 12, man. We got Maximus Martin from Kansas State next. Then we're gonna roll over to the ACC. Thursday we got Dalton Wentz. Dude's just been crushing it. So we're coming off hot and running with some elite guests out the gate.
Absolutely, it's a party over here. Y'all stay with us and y'all have a lot of fun. But for me, for Jim, this has been the On Off the Bench podcast. As always, remember, strong body, sharp minds, grit and grind all the time. We're